Now, this is one of the main reasons for the US defeat, isn't it? That for the first time, the daily, hourly attrition, not least, in fact, overwhelmingly, their own service personnel, they didn't give a damn about the Vietnamese, but the mass media were there, and their dispatches, their footage, was on the nightly TV screen the next day.
Absolutely. You could see the bodies burned by napalm. You could see photos of the atrocities, people being shot at point-blank range, the pictures of women who were quite obviously raped by these disgruntled, maddened servicemen. And so it became a war where the brutality recirculated, where even though the sympathy of mainstream corporate America wasn't with the Vietnamese, the way the US troops were behaving in Vietnam was a source of embarrassment. And Walter Cronkite, who was one of the main newsreaders at the time for CBS News, his coverage of the Tet Offensive, I mean, it's hard to believe in this advanced 21st century that a newsreader might actually vocalize some empathy for an unnecessary and brutal war. But in the 60s, that did happen. And it spawned an anti-war movement among the young people who either they didn't have their draft number called because it was a random system, much like a green card. What's worse, I don't know. Depends on one's perspective. And then there were those who were in the universities, but they became politically aware. It was reflected in, first of all, the music. Before it trickled into film and even literature, the music really defined that generation's opposition to war. Songs like Edwin Starr's War, What Is It Good For? Country, Joe McDonald's Fixin' to Die Rag, 1, 2, 3, What Are We Fighting For? Don't Ask Me, I Don't Give a Damn, Next Stop is Vietnam. These were very direct anti-war lyrics, and there were hundreds of songs about the war from pop acts on both sides of the Atlantic. It inspired the student uprising in Paris in 1968. It was one of the examples where, for the first time, frankly, in modern history, an imperialist war in a far-off place compared to the United States was having repercussions in Western society, and that, frankly, was because of mass media. You could press a record comparatively quickly. You could get the news bulletins with color photos and video out within 24 hours or less, and this was being beamed into the minds and ears of people not just in the US, but in Europe.
Dylan played an honourable role in
Absolutely.
the anti-war movement.